proudly brought to you by Petrosol. And of course, Betway Petrosol is your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. And of course, Betway, bet your way. All right, the guys are all seated here. A very lovely afternoon. We have a special guest. I'll introduce him shortly, but my regular guys are here. Sitsofe, Philip, Atsrim. Say that again. That's what I'm playing today.
No, you're playing tomorrow.
You don't know. You don't know what
You're not following the league.
You're not following the league.
Al Hazim.
It's tomorrow.
You're playing Al Hazim.
Al
Hazim. Today Al Hilal will play today. Yes.
Neymar they play today.
Neymar they play today.
And
yeah.
Muftawu, Nabila Abdullah is here as well.
Yes.
The man from Mr. Gary L. Smith. The man from
his clubs are much noted for always withdrawing from competitions.
Oh, Gary. That bullet, don't take it.
Only withdrawal.
Don't take it. Don't take it. You know, interestingly, it took me a while to actually know that Gary is a Garman. Initially, I thought it was fancy.
Right.
Because
right.
the name sounds very fancy, doesn't it?
Yeah, Gary Al Smith.
It sounds like more of an English name for me.
Which people have English names in Ghana?
This guy cry.
I know the thing is by assumption. Which people have English names in Ghana?
It's not a ta. We are talking about names.
Hey, okay.
But Mr. Al Smith, you're a Garman from Jamestown or Osu?
No, Osula in Accra Central. Yeah.
Interesting.
So your hometown day.
So me, I was in the whole Chalote fight. Me, I was in the middle, so I didn't talk some. Cause my mother's people are the Jamestown people. And they say they've taken, and my father's people are the Osu people who have taken it. So me, I didn't talk some.
You can't.
I can't.
Every win be win.
Mr. Daniel Koranteng, aka Bedman. I miss you guys. I miss you guys.
We miss you, man.
I miss you guys.
Yo, we miss you, man.
Give it to me.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
See, you the job you not do pass.
I tell you.
Make nobody lie you. Make nobody lie you say somebody dey from pass you for some place.
Thank you.
Nobody.
Thank you. Tugu
Make nobody. I say the level. Those them dey the top. If them dey category A, you two dey there some.
Thank you.
Me I tell you.
Thank you.
Hey, the job you not do. You not do.
What can I say?
No, Tahiru.
Yes. You to talk some.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
my own is a very serious observation.
Thank you.
The pictures and videos you were sending from the Budapest.
From the Budapest, no.
It's like the Budapest, no. The air, no. It has some exfoliation. This
For the-
one,
for the-
because the skin tone, no. Boga, this is not the Budapest you. No.
You know what? Somebody say the cameras, no. As they do, they no add Ghana for inside. They no add Ghana air for inside.
Abroche dey be natural filter.
Hey,
And then horseshoe.
We heard.
You mentioned about
Why you try? You were a motivational speaker to the Nigeria relay team.
not just the relative. In fact, I remember one of the conversations you were having with was it the Ivorian team? You were like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Look, you see, the strategy is simple.
If I flow them fans,
You have to.
So they go open up for you. Say,
You have to. The human side of
as you
things.
talk say, oh, don't cry. Then other girl can say, oh yeah, and you be fine. The job, I saw you. The job you don't do.
I say I can't interview with Talu.
Yes.
Then you watch Talu in face, and then she know they won't talk.
Yeah.
Then Fentuo say, it's okay, you've done well. Said, God knows best.
I've cried. I cried on Monday on Tuesday, but I'm fine.
Challenge.
Charlie's falling.
Then we get some American woman, some girl. If come the one it chop last self. If he come, amazing job. You were amazing.
Isn't that girl who always holds her phone like this?
No, not that one. There was another one on the Obaya. I said the Nigerian guy was making fun of it. So there will be somebody coming. The person chop last man, and you say, "Make a watch." If you see the person, amazing job. Everybody, amazing job. DK, you watch the Togolese girl.
Yeah.
They finish the history, now they go finish. She come into a see I'm now. Amazing job. You need. And then today, of course, we are joined by a very special guest. He deserves that, doesn't he? He deserves that.
It is very important to have him cross-fertilize with us here.
Mr. Patrick Akoto.
Yeah.
Hijibiji is that
Hey, Patrick, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, I've been gallivanting. He has been ensuring that the heebie-jeebies. Yes.
You know, I'm now, I hold dual nationality these days.
Wait.
Yes, of course.
Ghana and where?
Sudan.
This is local dual nationality. We are not going beyond the borders of this country. We are just right here.
If you hold dual nationality, you
I'm
cannot be
proud Atsrim boy, but working for the Wasa people. So I'm now half Wasa. So I may even naturalize for Nanango the second in Takwa, the Apinto traditional division, because my people in the Atsrim land. No show. It was just the name is just there. Ochima, no show. So the thing there, the action really is in the Western enclave.
I can't foresee you, baby. Come, baby. So they are hearing him from Atsrim. He's going to Asa.
But you see, you see, Sitsofe, what he said. Do you know the literary device called double entendre?
Yes. Double entendre.
Yes.
So when you say that Atsrim people, mean who's so?
There's the literal one, and then there's the Jubilee one.
You're a bad boy.
You're a bad boy.
I thought that's why he was even going.
Okay. So there's the literal one, and then there's the showdown one.
Yeah, that's right.
Now these are all your interpretations. I am not responsible for this
No,
interpretation.
it is the literature in me speaking.
Well, yes, I understand.
But it is also important for us to interpret what you say.
Well, that's fine.
But Patrick
Yes.
is responsible for what he
I am
says.
responsible for what I
He's
say.
not responsible
I'm not
for
responsible for how you interpret it.
That is true.
You are at liberty to interpret it anyhow you want. You are not paying tax for
And then
interpreting.
you come and tell us that I was misquoted. I
No,
was
no,
taken
no.
out of context.
Funny, I don't. I've never said I've been misquoted before.
No, I'm just an
Yes, I
example
get
that,
it.
like the way people behave.
A very
Yeah.
common feature in Ghana where people are caught in the crossfire, and suddenly they
was taken out of context.
either they were speaking out of, it was been taken out of context, or
tape was
or
doctored.
other the tape has been doctored. Now these days, even police chiefs are having the tape doctored. So what's the problem? Even police chiefs are having tape doctored. So what about us?
I can tell you, Patrick, I can tell you the one tape that is not doctors, and it's this one.
You know, the thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA finals and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times. But that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
Wow. All right. So that's no allows. You guys have monitored the reaction to this particular statement, and it's been nothing short of extraordinary. In fact, he was attacked in the US by NBA stars, Drake, music stars, all these people who are pro NBA. And the arguments they have made, some of them have ranged from the preposterous to the quite silly. No, I have to be honest. And you know, for me, right, and I don't know where you guys stand on this, but it appears it's basically a USA versus the rest of the world conversation. Mm-hmm. You know, because from everything that has gone on, and the timeline has been on fire on this matter for the past, 5 days. Yeah. Give or take. Sitsofe, I'm going to begin with you. I don't, why are we even having a debate about this matter?
Okay, so
and it's not just the NBA, right?
Yeah, it's not just the NBA. It's
NFL,
cuts across
baseball.
But I can understand why, and we have to also understand why some Americans see it this way. If Ampe, you Ampe,
yes,
the one that our baby girls were playing in
course,
primary,
of course.
Ampe looks like it's a very local sport, and it looks like it be only Ghana people they do am for. So the thinking is that whoever is Ampe champion is globally the champion of Ampe. Just the thinking, because it's only Ghana that has that sport. Now, when you look at the American sports, most of their sports is very peculiar to their region. Very peculiar.
Yes.
Not many. Who does baseball? Who does, the NFL as it is?
Japan.
No, but outside of, yes. So very few. So the American sports is not naturally or necessarily global. If you catch the drift, it's not very global.
Basketball is now, though.
It is now. It is now. But that culture has to simmer in. So in the minds of many Americans, for the American sports, and basketball has been for so long known as an American sport. So for them, because it's not a global sport, right? Whoever is the champion of that American sport or that franchise is the global champion. But that in itself is not true, right?
It's flawed.
Yes, in some contexts it is. In some American sports, it is like that. That is what it is. But the point is, what no one else said, and Gary, I'll pick it up from what Gary said sometime 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That what the Athletics Federation is looking for, or everybody around athletics is looking for, are these conversations to be had. And no one else has carried that torch like throughout the whole championship, and is going to say things that he knows will generate conversations, and it's been successful. But the point is, for anybody who thinks that winning the NBA in the USA makes you a world champion, the person has to have everything. And I'm happy people are beginning to see the difference, because to become a world champion, you need to be competing for world titles. The NBA is not a world title.
It literally
national,
stands for National Basketball Association.
It's a national title. It's not the world title, right? So that is where they need to separate that. But like I say,
and there's actually a world title that exists for basketball.
Yes,
FIBA World Cup.
Yes, the World Cup exists for that. So when you win that, you're a world champion.
And guess who is the champion of the world? Spain.
Spain, yeah.
Yeah, Spain.
The Americans are not even the world champion.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
That's the annoying thing.
Yes.
You say you are the champion.
No, I mean they take their team D.
But they take their team A to the Olympics and still get beaten.
They don't take their team A to the Olympics.
Are you serious?
No, it's only in the last Olympics.
Let me tell you.
The dream team.
Shit, let me tell you. In fact, they did a whole documentary about the Redeem
The
team.
Redeem team.
Where America was embarrassed in Athens 2004.
Yeah.
And they came, and you know which players were there in Athens 2004? The Carmelo Anthony's were all there.
No, but they came back 2008, 120.
No, I'm saying that we are not arguing the fact that they have been dominant, but we are saying that there have been times when other countries have beaten them.
Which means there's a global sport now.
And even in any case, if you go to the FIBA World Cup and you win it, that is when you become a world champion. But you don't have the LA Lakers win the championship and you call them world champions. It doesn't work like that.
Absolutely, I get it.
So go to the major competition organized by FIBA, win it, and you're a world champion.
Yes. So like I said, it is the way their culture is set, and it is the way their sports is. The sports they have there are predominantly very, very much American centered. But NBA is not one of those, and I think they are beginning to see now the difference.
Yes,
now,
Gary.
The other argument that I have made this week is that I mentioned the expression American exceptionalism.
Yeah.
For so long, and we are talking from especially World War II until very recently, maybe just 20 years ago, the Americans, it's the reason why they are the greatest nation on earth. Trademark. Registered. You understand? In popular culture, in their movies, in their music.
They've colonized the whole world, really.
They tell you, and it's not like they say it. In their movies, as I was saying,
It's deliberate.
when aliens come and they're invading the world, have you seen a Ghanaian city there before? How many African cities do you see? It's always in the United States, in popular culture, their music, in science fiction, and all that. Yeah. Now, from the world wars, and anybody who knows the history of the world wars know how it happened. Basically, all the countries that were on the side of the Allies who won the war needed America to help them rebuild. And in doing so, America became the undisputed global champion of the world.
And not just a rebuilding.
Yes.
In fact, for the Second World War, if it wasn't for the involvement of America, England would have been annihilated.
That's the point. So
and this is fact.
and they have gone on it is only maybe in the last few months that seems to be changing. They have impressed their currency onto the world. And so you cannot do any. I mean, do you know what, I hadn't thought of it, but in the wake of Noah Laus's comments and thinking about why American exceptionalism is what it is, do you know what it will feel like to walk out of Ghana and go to the ends of the earth and the whole world's currency is denominated or compared to your currency, to the Ghana cedi?
Every currency is measured against the dollar. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yes, do you know what it means?
No, so what
that's
Gary
it, that's-
basically
yes.
is telling us about the political power of the Americans.
That's what,
and that's
you
what
see,
they are forcing
it
on
has
all of
been
us.
part of American education from the onset, to the extent that for most of us, it's something that you can't say on social media and elsewhere. For Americans, it is something of pride to actually say, I don't know this country.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to know you.
They don't
But
need
you
travel.
need to
Where
know
we go?
them. Now where?
Okay.
There are actually like the YouTube videos where they go on the streets asking
Yes.
Americans.
anything.
Oh, yes.
They don't know anything.
There are many things they do.
There's a word that begins
It's
with
not that they don't know anything, no.
Yeah.
There's a-
They don't have to know these things.
Thank you.
That's the yeah.
You see,
that's
it's
that's
not
right.
that they don't know anything,
okay.
no. Because if you say they need to know, for what?
For what? They don't waste their time in educating them where
I
Ghana
watched
is.
one
yeah,
YouTube
but
video. The
yeah.
guys.
Because you learn it because you they need.
You get a
It's
go.
captured in our books. We need to
That's
go
the
and
point.
read about American history and all that.
Somebody is going around YouTube video holding $1,000 in cash and asking American students, "Can you name 2 countries in Africa?" The first thing out of his mind, Tasmania.
So I was talking about American exceptionalism, and it's a thing. Now, if you listen to Noah Laus's comments, I have just given you a video. We've converted to an audio now.
Yeah.
He was asked yesterday after the Diamond
Yeah, I
League
saw
was
that.
run.
He says he's happy the conversation is
Yes,
going
but if you listen to him, he says USA versus the world.
That's
And-
true.
And it hits at the idea of American exceptionalism, that for them, they are them.
This is what Noah said about the controversy, if you like, that his comments has generated.
To be honest, I'm just glad that we're having the conversation. It's been an underline for so long, but nobody really wanted to talk about it. And, with everybody actually saying things about it, now you have dialogue. And, of course, maybe there'll be opinions that change and maybe there won't, but at least we're having the conversation. It's funny, if you look at my comments, you'll have people in the U.S. versus the world. Everybody in the world is very much on my side, and everybody in the U.S. is usually leaning towards the opinion of the NBA. But again, that's just goes to show how we view ourselves in the U.S. And again, I'm just glad that we're having the conversation.
That's true. And Gary, you're very much spot on.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's how it
They
goes
view
to show
themselves
just
in the
how
US.
much we view ourselves in the US. The United States is a very insular country. It's a very insular country, but I would posit a very controversial argument that for the opinion leaders and those who make policy in America, it is deliberate. Because the moments they make Americans feel like they are not the best at anything, the value of everything America drops.
Will drop, yeah.
Because when America is a country of what, about 350 million people right now, if I make a pen and I am selling it from down south in Miami to the northernmost part of the United States,
Washington State.
Washington State, and I am marketing it as the best pen in America, I can sell it for $1 CD. But immediately or $1, immediately I market it as the best in the world, I can easily push for $5.
True.
Now, how does this play out? American cars, they've forever been said to be so good that if you are a car maker anywhere in the world, you have to make an American spec.
That is true.
We all know that.
And that is very true, because I remember when Japan were making the Land Cruisers.
Yes.
And Americans were like, no, it's too robust, it's everywhere. Then Japan said, okay, we'll make the same Land Cruiser, we'll rebrand it. So they rebranded it to Lexus. And the name Lexus in itself translates to luxury exported to the US. Lexus.
You understand?
Exported to the
and
US.
there are 1,001 examples
Yeah.
of that, so that
Yeah.
you will make a product for everybody else. But Americans say, make ours special.
Yeah.
So make it for us. you see that in their marketing of, because this is a sports program, of their sports. Nathaniel Atto has said forever to Ghanaian boxers that Charlie, the holy grail is to go enter the US market.
And go and fight.
If you don't enter the US market, you ain't done nothing.
You don't go nowhere, man.
You don't do anything. And you see that even in soccer today.
I say,
What did that
I
day
say,
pitch fight?
hold on. You see, even no, it's true. And listen, for long, Messi has been seen as the greatest footballer of all time. But even him, now that he's in America,
He's
it looks as
enjoying.
if
It's a small boy playing.
It's like we're experiencing a different Messi.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same. They're making him seem like a completely different, like otherworldly.
And
my friend, stop the hatred.
And
Stop the
guess
hatred.
what? They are pushing the content to us as much as they can.
Yes.
So that every single eyeball will draw to the US. That's
It's
what
crazy.
they are doing with
So
Lionel
I
Messi
mean,
now.
and Gary, your point is absolutely valid. So you're saying that it's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a
it's
culture.
not just. It's not. It's not intentional. It is inherent.
It is inherent.
It basically is their nature.
And
intentionally
before you
inherent.
come, Sitso,
It's true.
It's
Sitso,
intentionally inherent.
most of, in fact, it is what most of our countries around the world are jealous about the Americans about.
True.
That is what we all want our countries to be.
Oh yes.
You understand?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
This is a hidden truth.
No, that is what makes America great. So if you watch all the movies and how they place their flags and things, it is they call it the American savior complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, America, if they do the movie.
They see the American flag on the back.
Any other country be powerful, so I go make it look like Ibidimo. So all the bad guys that speak some Russian,
Some Arabic or some African
some
language.
Petrovich or some
Exactly.
Abu for some place.
But you see, in what Noah Laos is doing,
The last killers.
it's also important to note that there's a method to his madness.
Of course.
So it turns out that this boy, ever since he was in high school, there has been a plan for him to be where he is today.
Yeah.
They have been shooting documentaries about Noah Laos,
Yeah.
and it has been airing on Peacock since his high school days when his potential was there. So, for everything that he does, the tunnel vision is that he is going to be the heir to Usain Bolt and possibly to surpass the great man. It is the reason why today, and I'm sure we all know this stat right now, for those of us who are here, in the 200 meters, the top 10 times, Usain Bolt, Noah Laos.
Yeah.
Usain Bolt, Noah Laos. Usain Bolt
At the World Championship.
at the World Championship.
In fact,
He knows exactly what he is doing.
if you look at the 200 meters, sub 20 seconds, the top 20, Noah Laos and Usain Bolt basically they have more than half
We are more than half of the time.
Time,
Yeah.
yeah.
of the sub 20 times in the history of the 200 meters. It's crazy. And in fact, Noah Laos has almost twice as many as Usain Bolt.
That's crazy.
It's
And how
crazy.
is he again?
You see, the only thing that really sets Bolt apart is that he set a certain time that seemingly looks like it can be broken.
It's quite impossible.
But in terms of consistency of running the sub 20s,
Sub 20.
no one compares to you.
Both was what 1919.
I swear. I swear. Like, it's unrealistic.
1919.
And you know what? You know the funniest thing about that time? Is the one race where if you watch Usain Bolt, he ran hardest from
1919.
start to finish. No relaxation.
Or as they call from gun to tape.
Yes.
1919.
Because right now, Noah Laos' best time
Not in our generation.
is the best time of any American in the history of the 200
and
meters.
that's
1931.
Yeah.
And he ran that in Oregon. Even since then, he has not been able to match that. The previous record was Michael Johnson, which was 1932. Bolt came and brought that in. And now,
1919.
listen. Nobody has even gone below 1930.
Both did 1930 and then 1919.
Yeah.
You see, the other person, the second fastest time in the history of the 200 meters is the other Jamaica, 1926.
Johan Blake.
Johan Blake.
You see,
He go hard.
brother, and the 1926 crowd, no. Since Blake ran that time, nobody else has come that close.
Even now, in a crisis, self-say, no, if they run again.
And you mentioned the thing about Noah Laos because he's gone through depression.
Yeah.
He's had to fight depression, especially after what happened at the Olympic Games. Because you talk about the intention, and it was at a time that he was running fastest and he looked like he was unbeatable, to go to the Olympic Games and not just get beaten, but end up getting bronze, he slipped into depression. So coming into Oregon and getting the title back actually gave him a lot of confidence after that. And then he decided that the one reason that could really make him the undisputable king of track in terms of the sprint is for him to double. And I asked him that question because he has long been seen as a 200-meter specialist. But he says he knows he's fast, and everybody knows he's fast. But in order for him to be able to say that himself without people raising questions, he has to win the 100 meters as well. So he started to work on his start. Without a doubt, Noah Lyles has the best finish of any athlete in recent history. However, he's not always had the best start. So he went to the track, worked on his start, and he didn't just become world
and even
champion.
that is not there yet.
No.
A lot better than
it's
been, but it's not there.
And he has a world lead now, over 100 meters this season.
Wow.
Which is what?
Daddy.
That doesn't raise the time.
No. Yes, that's the point. But you see, you
No,
can't.
Charlie, you have spent 15 minutes talking about it.
You can say you don't read the time.
It's not, I don't.
But since Usain Bolt, hold on. But since Usain Bolt, the next fastest time to win the 100 meters in the World Championship is 1970. Sorry, it's 9:76, and that was in Doha by Coleman.
Yeah.
Most of the winning times are not that great.
Even these days,
it's not.
It's now 9.8.
No, it's not that great.
No,
9.80,
I'm trying to make a point.
9.84.
You people are putting his name in the same sentence as Bolt. And if you are going
And we
to do
shouldn't
that,
do that.
you shouldn't. Don't try it.
No. You are missing the point.
No,
You're
my
missing
point
the
is, every era has its champion.
That's true.
If you go back, there are guys who won world championships. They did 100, they did 200. This is his era, but you can't compare the times he's doing to the standard that has been set.
But nobody has done that, though.
No, Boga, you are saying that top fastest times Noah Lyles has. Boga, if he has done 19 out of the 20 fastest times, we don't care. The point is, it is the one that everybody wants to beat. That is the top time. He's not even the second fastest. So, he should be in the 100 meters. If you are talking about greatness, friends, be serious. You can't be using 9.8 to win a world championship. And then we'll use 50 minutes to talk about you. 9.8. 9.8, 10 years ago, you finished fourth, you finished fifth. That's been the standard has been set. So me personally,
hold on. No. You cannot be. But in the history of the hold on. That's not fair, because in the history of the entire 100 meters, how many people have won it? Hold on. How many people have won it with 9.58? Only one.
Chief.
How many people? Hold on. I've just told you that since Usain Bolt came into the picture, his first world championships, 2009. Since he came and set that record, in the history of the entire 100 meters at the World Championship, there's only the second fastest time to win was only in Doha in 2019, Coleman.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that generally winning the 100
that
meters.
9.58 race, the person who finished second would have passed Noah Lyles. The
would
person who finished third would have passed Noah
But
Lyles.
that's the greatest
The
sprint
person who
ever.
finished fourth would have passed Noah Lyles. My point is, a standard has been set, and in that era, they were great to the point that the third person in that era, if you are talking Asafa Powell, look at Asafa Powell's times. He never won, and it's not his fault too. It's because people are just better than him. So if you can't hate an era that everybody has signed, you are winning. Don't come and put your name in the same sentence as Book.
Asafa Powell is like Lewandowski.
Yeah.
Special award. It's like Lewandowski and Neymar.
Lewandowski
Okay,
and
guys.
Neymar and Luis
But
Suarez.
I was actually thinking of what he said.
No,
It was quite-
you see, there
I
are
think that
rivalries
he-
in
another
every era. Okay, there are rival. Apart from Noah Lyles, today, who? We can't mention anybody.
Yeah, true.
And that is a
But
problem
Noah
with this
Lyles
era.
has only won one world championship in the 100 meters. So what do you mean you can't mention him?
So
It's
then-
not like he's dominated.
So, don't let's end this conversation. Then no, even
No.
when he does it again,
you're
I'm not being fair. How?
In fact, the conversation
not
was
being
purely
my point
about
is-
whether the NBA is the winners of the
And he
NBA
came
are
back
world
to how
champions,
great
which was
Noah Lyles
purely
is, and he has doubled, and he has won 100, and he has won 200, and in the top 20 times, and both this. Chief, let's end the conversation. Let's move.
So to
when
wrap
he wins it
to wrap
again,
it all up with the
if you want to win bronze in all this year,
with
you
your
are
permission, to wrap it all up, you see what the World Athletics Championship organizers or World Athletics have wanted is for a time to come since Usain Bolt retired, when we will spend 15 minutes talking about something like this. Because in the last 2-3 years, we won't even bother.
Truth.
Because there's nobody as charismatic,
As bold
who backs his
and as talented.
and who backs his brag
It's theatrics with results.
with results.
Charlie, this is a
like
very
Noah Lyles.
disappointing era. Kelly can't even make a world championship final, and that was supposed to be his rival. Charlie, let's move on. Let's
You
go
see-
to Paris.
you see,
If he does it again in Paris,
you see, Daniel.
if he does it again in
speak,
Paris,
you speak as if
no,
there has been. Hold on, you speak.
But you
as
know,
if-
Mediama is an African champion. We won a Ghana Premier League.
I know. I know.
We are African champion. When you win a Ghana Premier League, automatically we are African champion.
Because there are African players in the league.
Midiama now has a player from Zimbabwe.
Yes. Ivory Coast.
And Ivory Coast.
Yes. So we are international club.
Yeah, I agree.
So they are not champions.
You know, I mean, the last thing I'm going to say on this is that, you know, Daniel, to be fair, there hasn't been a lot of areas of athletics where people have been as dominant as Usain Bolt.
No.
They've never really existed, to be fair. Because even in the history of the 100 meters, only 3 people have ever defended the title. You know, we had that conversation the last time. So it's not even that common where you can say so many people have done it and he's not done it. No, it rarely happens. Bolt is otherworldly. Nobody should sit here and pretend. And to be fair, Bolt is probably the only track star that has transcended the sport. Because he was a proper entertainment mogul.
Yeah, man.
Like he was a proper superstar. And you see, a lot comes with that. Not just the talent or the performance. He's also charismatic. Noah Lyles is trying, but I dare say he's not half as charismatic as Usain Bolt is.
because his times are not speaking for him. He's not blowing our minds.
You see? And that's the thing.
But you see, but Noah Lyles is doing, basically, he's doing I don't want to say a Cristiano. Because you see, no.
Trying to make a point.
I'm looking for
By
a
making
sportsman.
the points, you can use different names.
No, that's what I'm saying. You see,
Use Bebeto.
no, not even Cristiano. I meant Messi.
He said he's trying to.
No, hold
He
on.
said-
I meant Messi.
Messi,
Cristiano, the proper superstar from the beginning.
absolutely.
David Beckham, you know, he
Yeah.
had the looks,
Yeah.
the arrogance,
Yes.
the appeal,
And the works to back it.
the words to back it, the job. Messi, it tires more. It tires more because if you say you know the ball play,
Yeah.
that be all.
But he don't be friends.
There, Giorgio Armani say when it's so sweet for Messi, self, then he shy. Because when Messi wear the thing, Charlie, not
In fact,
The one he used to do the apology,
apology,
video.
you know. Oh, Charlie. Yeah. You see, was it Armani or I think it was Giorgio Armani. They vex. But you don't go do apology video, then you take we want our few to where we.
It doesn't fit him.
Yeah, understand? You know, so Noah Lyles is not, and I agree with Danny. He has not reached that level in terms of the performances, but in true American marketing fashion,
He's the best.
you understand? He will take the small that he has, blow it out of proportion, because right now in American sports, I mean, right now what we are talking about is that since I don't know who, I'll have to go into the notes. I don't remember the last time Americans will say those who don't like track but like baseball and basketball, no Lyles. They have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
But now they will know.
Yeah.
And if he enters a boardroom and he's getting another deal today, because of that top of mind awareness.
True story.
Who is Noah Lyles? Oh, the guy who said the NBA is rubbish. He has that name recall. Ibab. Yeah. So, I mean, for him, it's a win-win for him, and I'm sure he's
And to
happy.
be fair, Daniel, we may
was actually
never
looking from the World Athletics
we may never
Championship
even
angle.
get any other athlete to reach the heights of Bolt. May never. So you know, in
1919.
brother,
Not in our generation.
the 19, let me tell you something. The
9.58.
1919 is more impressive than the 9.58.
Yeah.
It's
That
ridiculous.
19, it won't happen again. No, be
Anyway,
serious. No, if you love maths and you work the maths,
Brother.
about 200 meters, that a human being can cover that distance in 19 seconds.
That is sub-tense.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
any,
For
it doesn't make
800,
any
yeah.
sense.
And it doesn't happen often.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Anyway, Patrick,
My brother.
African champions.
Yes. you know the Americans have shown the way.
Champions
that
of the
if
continent.
you win the NBA, you become a global champion. So we want to follow in that suit. So for clinching the ultimate diadem for the first time in our history.
The ultimate what?
Yeah, the diadem. You know,
For those of you who don't know the song, let me give you. I have a principle within. In one of the stanzas. The best are brother.
Which song is that?
Oh, it's a Christian song.
Pop Magari.
I don't go to church, so.
There's a diadem
There's a
inside.
diadem inside.
Yeah,
From City Game. I remember it.
Patrick.
His father plays
Hold on.
keyboard,
Patrick
so
and I are the same. We don't go to church.
Church. It's been a while. But we've been praying. We've been praying.
Fellowship is
Fellowship is
Patrick,
important.
you guys are through to the next round. Mediama, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And let me just take this opportunity to say that this is this has been my home, but this is the first time that I've been on the game plan. I have been extremely desirous of coming, but time factor has been a challenge.
Yeah.
And I am hopeful that I'll become more a very consistent guest.
That's right.
Because I enjoy the kabudo that goes on within this hemisphere.
You enjoy the one?
Yes. But having said that, Mediama is really riding, but we are cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
The stark reality is that we were lucky against Remo Stars.
Oh, really?
Penalties are always a lottery.
Okay.
We won 1-0 here. They also beat us 1-0. As we speak, we are yet to see how the goal was scored. Even after replays, we don't even know whether it was an own goal or somebody scored, because it was a goal must scramble.
Yeah.
The linesman said it was an infringement, but the one in the center who called the shot says, "Lai, is a goal."
Ah.
Oh yes, that's how it happened in Nigeria. When it's a, I don't even understand players. When a referee take a final decision, the plenty complaints won't change Jack.
True story.
It won't change.
Just get on with the game.
Unless we manufacture a different VAR, which we've done here sometimes in Ghana. The goal will be scored, and before you say Jack, but the decision has been reversed.
I remember the one in Tema. It took 8 solid minutes.
It was just a good game. I mean, I think
Okay.
that, look, let's be real with ourselves.
Yeah.
We have a lot of work to do, Gary. I mean, in terms of infrastructure.
True.
I think that we've paid lip service to these things. We've spoken about it extensively, all of us. When I listen to my brothers here, you always talk about it. It's like it is really becoming boredom and fatigue. We talk about it, but there's no end in sight in actualizing and making effort to change the narrative. Because you go to Remo Stars, and this is a club that belongs to an individual. And if you look at the infrastructure, we were overblown. At a point, my colleague Kopisto and the media guys who were with us were saying, "Oh, Patrick, you know what? In case, that was a light on. In case we are not able to navigate our way here, you guys should not be disappointed. We are going to tell Ghanaians that this is the club that they lost to, and show all the infrastructure, all the facilities.
Go be an agenda.
All the facilities.
Yes, with all the facilities and all that. But I think that it's a good game. Their coach underrated us, I think so. If you look at his mannerisms and his post-match, pre-match talks, it was all about the fact that and he gave us a lot of post shot actually. He said that he didn't see how a club without a pitch could eliminate them. It was without a pitch, we looked on.
But it's true, you couldn't play in your home.
Yeah.
But it is true, you don't have a pitch.
Somebody came to me close and said, Chairman, I said, you're kind of no one know. I think that he underrated us. He said with so much laxity,
And when the draw came, not to cut you, he said that apart from Hearts and Kotoko, who is Mediama, like Mediama
even in Cape Coast, he said, shockingly, I was with him and he said, he has searched, he has served the net everywhere in the world. He can't find any information about Mediama.
Wow.
Amazing. I mean, really?
Patrick, don't you have a website?
We have a very efficient running website. The gentleman says he has no idea. But of course, we understand that the big boys are there, Kotoko and Haas. So I think he underrated us. So when the game started, interestingly, he was the only one I was watching on the touchline. I was not even focusing on the match.
That's why I didn't see
the man. No. I didn't see the goal. For the goal, I didn't see. Before I could say that, he was inside. And I was watching him. Then after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, boys were dictating, they were controlling. Now they were struggling to make an opening. So after the first half, then he was virtually soaked. Because he began to appreciate that it wasn't as easy.
He was sweating.
He was sweating profusely. But for the agility of the goalkeeper, Sowa should have had a double. I mean, that guy is a different beast. But perhaps I'll talk about him. And then, so when we went to the lottery of penalties, I mean, this lottery, I don't know, but we brought in 3 players who are regular penalty takers. Atinga,
Yeah.
Anoba, and Kudamwaku.
Very experienced too.
Oh, shockingly or interestingly, the two of them missed. In fact, Atinga missed for the first time in his career.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, you know, Atinga is a former school prefect of Kajebi Asato.
Okay.
Many people don't know that.
Ah.
There's a reason why he speaks very well.
Okay.
Very intelligent chap. He's a great guy. He cried like a baby. And I asked him why, because his explanation was that he has done this at the tip of his fingers for so many years, and this was his highest stage, the biggest stage of the CAF
So
Champions
did he miss
League.
it or he was saved?
No, he swerved the goalkeeper completely,
Yeah.
but he missed. It didn't even. It just missed.
It was off target.
Off target. That's the right word. Off target. Wow. Very. I don't know which one. Whether it's close off target, but bottom line is off target.
Every off be off.
Every of you off. And you see that penalty shootout where the opponent misses out, and there's a certain level of excitement within you that you're almost there,
You have the momentum.
hoping that your player will score, and then he also goes and misses it,
And
then
that is
we are
the
about
point.
to.
That is the point. Your stomach is almost empty.
So,
Wait, in Chi we call it Shamenko.
but Felix Chase was phenomenal. I mean, this is a goalkeeper that we bought from Carrera, and I tell you what, Felix Chase booted Mediama out of the FA Cup.
I remember.
Less than 24 hours, he was in Takwa to begin his career. In fact, the game was played on a Sunday.
Proper scouting.
For 24 hours, we had already finished the deal. That was his final game. We went into a penalty shootout. He saved all the our penalties. And then he went for the final kill. Displays our goalkeeper. Shook hands with us so happily. And then Monday, he was in Takwa. I said, "What are you doing here? We are out of the FA Cup. What are you doing here?" And then we had a good laugh. But it's so, and that was golden for me. That was really golden. Top professional. And he's done this for a very long time. This is no fluke.
Yeah.
He's an expert when it comes to penalty kick. So we'll be relying a lot.
Felix Shea, right?
Yeah, Felix Shea. Great talent.
No, you're in Africa, I mean, in Canada. They don't say it's okay.
Africa.
Next up for you guys.
It's an elephantine task.
Yes.
It's a king-size task. Without a doubt. Look, we can't kid ourselves. We are going to play against a team that have been very consistent in the CAF Champions, at least in the group stages. Being in the group stage has been like more or less like their bet, right? But we have a way and know how to navigate these things. We are not a quarter course in the house. This is the third time that we are playing in Africa and Elite Club competition. But let the history reflect that Mediama has never exited any cup competition in Africa on the second round. We've always exited. The first one, 2014, we exited after negotiating a tie at a third stage.
Yeah.
In 2016, we went to the group stage. We missed the semi-finals by the whisker of the head-to-head rule because we drew with the Algerian team here, and we lost 1-0 in Algeria. I have never seen any win in Africa like the one I witnessed in Algeria. Daniel J, the former Ghana goal, was imposed. We saw the ball, right from the center. It was just meandering its way through the air before we could see Jack. It was inside. And then we know normally we say here in Ghana, Abacha, we came back to this. So I think that we are just hoping that history perhaps can guide us.
But you're playing at home first.
At home first, and of course.
That's always the danger.
Always the yes. When we play at home first, it means that we will need to get good results. We need to get perhaps more than a goal. I'm sure when we won 1-0 against Remo Stars, admittedly, and perhaps maybe it was grounded, many people did not have hope in the team because we just won 1-0. But many people fear the shenanigans that could happen in far away Nigeria. But we had they were very hospitable, everything was solid. Look, let's admit one thing, Fent. The pitch.
Yes.
Football is about the pitch. Because I saw these boys, and I was telling Muftawu the other day, I saw these boys playing on this pitch, and I could see real football telepathy. Like you could see the boys playing football, and you could see they were enjoying
your own boys.
Yes, I'm talking about the Mediama boys. You could see they were enjoying the game.
You are saying that you don't enjoy the game on your own pitch.
No, you don't get my point. If you compare them to Cape Coast pitch, it is not the same.
I get it.
No, even I've seen some of the best games that I ran commentary in the Ghana Premier League. Were games in Lenkley on the Boasis Lenkley Sports Stadium. The pitch was brilliant. And when they revamped the Kumasi Sports Stadium, when Ogun took over, we all could see how Kotoko would play when they played at home. So it's through the pitches.
No, the pitch. When we were done, Gary, the boys were so impressed with the pitch, and you could see they were enjoying it. And even for those of us who were watching, we were enjoying the pitch, and I was really enjoying. And I looked at it, I'm asking myself, so can't we have this at least one in Ghana?
D for that bang.
You know,
but
because
Patrick, you
as we speak, which pitch? You tell me. That you can score a goal, and in your wave of celebration, you can go and slide. The only club in Ghana that you can, only venue that you can swim when you score a goal is in Takwa. and we have the record. The evidence is there. This one is not you were explaining.
I saw it.
The evidence is there.
So Mediama against Horoya. That's on the 15th.
Yes. That weekend of the 15th to 17th.
Okay. Before that, this Sunday, you guys play against Dreams.
Yes.
That's in the Super Cup.
Yes.
The Ghana Super Cup. Dreams themselves are playing against Talon. They're also through to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. So you guys have made us proud. Another proud moment, of course, is Pemdakoa ladies.
Yes, fantastic.
Also in Nigeria.
Yes, also in Nigeria. Yes. And you see, supporters are the same everywhere. I remember after they came, the owner of the club, he was virtually held hostage. You know, like everybody wants to tell the man exactly who the problem is. So depending on who you don't like, is either one player or one management member or one this, and there's that sense of joy. For those of us who have traveled with teams and we when you go and win, it's exciting because the journey becomes much more shorter.
Of course.
The journey is always shorter.
Yes.
Very, very short.
If you lose,
go to Doma Hinkro
and
you lose. That journey from Doma to Takwa can take like 72 hours. That journey. And at that time, within that small space, everybody gets angry quickly. Small thing, the people are angry. if he tell you have received a call or a ball, it is your own phone. I'm giving your phone to you. You have received call. Then the man ball. Chairman. But the thing, then beat me. What again we go do? So go back home. Yeah. So, but the bottom line is it was a good game. Interestingly, Enimba also exited the competition on that same day.
Yeah.
So the two Nigerian teams were out in the Champions League at the same time because. That Libyan team, the one that Agadas plays for.
Yes.
Richard Boadu.
Alali.
Yes. I think they
it was a really good game.
That was also a goalless drawn game, despite scoring some goals in faraway Libya. So clearly, I think they had lost 4-3.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to be a walk in the park. Not, that sense because we were playing at home, but they still, got it. So we are okay, but the club knows that we are going to face a much more tougher opponent.
Horoya of Guinea.
We will not kid ourselves. We will need to bring our A game to bear. If there are upsets in football, we want to ride on a certain wave of the high level of esprit de corps that has permeated through this club. And we will do that. Horoya is well respected, an absolute big team, no doubt about it. Bigger than
colossal, huh?
Yeah, it's a colossal team. No doubt about it. But
Patrick, where did you stay when you were in London?
Oh, my brother, I am in Ghana here. I'm come from I'm a nationalized man in Western Enclave. So, bottom line is that we need to work very, very hard.
Yeah. That's fair.
Since 2012, no Ghanaian team has managed to get to the group stage of the CAF Champions League.
True story.
For Confederations Cup, in recent memory, is Kotoko and Mediema. So, I think that is why I feel it must be a Ghanaian agenda to ensure that we qualify. We need to do whatever is necessary in football. And when I say whatever is necessary, go and ask Ronaldo and Messi. Whatever is necessary in football to secure passage. But it's going to be very, very difficult, I must admit. But it is doable. We will see how it goes.
Including the conversation you and I had about the necessary things to
qualify.
Yes. That's fair. Thank you, Patrick. So, Mediama through to the next round of the CAF Champions League. Dreams FC through to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. And Pemdakoa ladies, for the first time in their history, winning the WAFU Zone B Championship, which now automatically is qualified them to the group stages of the CAF Women's Champions League. You're listening to Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM and 103.9 Hits FM, brought to you by...
You go break.
You go break.
I wanted to ask something.
Plenty things they will, because today is deadline day.
Gary, George Adu Jr. says he's listening to us.
Not only him.
I saw
Saint Dosia sent a message and said, "Hey, who said the club ran away? They didn't run away."
Also, please, Madam Gifty Auntie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gifty auntie.
The Gifty Auntie.
Yes.
Says she's a huge fan of game plan.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
You
Muftawu,
want
what did you
my
see?
tea? I'm not going to mention that.
Did you hear what Muftawu said? He said Gifty auntie. Oh, hiri.
I'm for this man and you don't go there. Say it again.
Muftawu, what did you say?
There's a collective laughter. How do I say it?
No. We are calm now.
We are all calm.
Muftawu.
We are calm. We are your
Let
brothers.
me clear my throat.
Yes, we are your
Okay,
brothers.
all right, listen.
Oh, hili.
Ampemdakwa,
Yes,
ladies,
yes.
they won the Waffle Zombie.
Yeah.
True story.
Did you see the release on the FA website?
I have not seen the one you are talking about.
We have won the cup. We are going to look at release on every website.
No, I saw that they said they dedicate the
Trophy to yes to the FA president.
Is it true? Like, is it
It's a
proper?
story. What
Is it true?
I mean, I read a
But
story.
why
on the FA website.
why
is it not true?
why is it not true?
I'm asking if it is true.
Yeah, it is
But
not
it's
true.
published.
But you've seen it.
Published.
But they've won their thing. They
And
say
they say
they
you don't understand.
You, Sitsofe, what's your
No,
problem?
what's your problem?
No.
Oh, relax,
The FA gave them
relax.
about $20,000 to go and play. Oh.
Bugger.
Hey, well, is it a gift or they deserved it?
No, is the FA has decided that if you are going to Africa,
Uh-huh.
we are supporting you. So
And I'm saying that, is it a gift?
yeah, it's a
So-
gift.
so what they were
So it's not by virtue of being Ghana women.
No, it's not by virtue. When
So
you
the
win-
35,000 they are giving Media Man,
No,
and
they
the
give-
35,000 they are
No,
giving
they
Dreams
give-
FC,
wait, hold on,
and
they
any
give-
club that competes in Africa is
in
a
Africa,
gift.
it's a gift. It's the FA who
What
gives
gift?
them. No, it
No,
is-
no, no.
it
But
is
the
not-
man is here.
The
Media
prize
is
money.
here.
Hold
Let's
on.
ask him.
The prize money for you to go and compete is different. When they, you
No,
win,
no. The
you win the
GFA,
Ghana
hold
Premier
on, the
League. Hold
GFA
on.
did the publication
Hold
to
on.
say that
Fentuo,
henceforth, if you
hold
win the
on.
Ghana Premier
It's not a
League,
gift.
it's not.
No,
that-
the 30
that-
No,
They've
no,
not-
maybe you're not getting the
They have
point.
not started the $35,000 yet, too.
No,
I know.
For next, listen.
So since
But the guy is here. You people are arguing.
Okay.
Ask him.
Patrick, take over.
Patrick, take over.
My brothers. It's just like this man. Somebody has one cup. You want to go and look at the website. Philip, somebody has one cup. You want to go and look at what is on the website.
He has
Okay.
called. He has addressed him by Philip. It means the matter is serious.
I just want to confirm if that story is true.
Okay,
No,
so
let's
let's like beyond the 300,000 Ghana cedi that we receive for annexing the league title. The FA also dole out $30,000 to us to prepare as part of their support.
And Dreams.
Yes, as part of their support package or support for the club. So we both had 30,000. But I think that's just for. We are hoping that we are going to play Horoya. What I think the president said at the launch was that this $30,000 obviously is for the whole campaign.
Yes.
So now what they are trying to say is that before they want to try and push the clubs to get to at least the group stage, the first set will be given a certain amount of money, $35,000, and if you progress, you'll be given another $35,000 with the hope that you get into the money zone or the group stage. But for this particular one that we are featuring in, the $30,000 is finished long time. It's finished. So President Okreku, it has finished long time. Because to even go to Nigeria,
I know, right?
We chartered the plane.
Now take it, Christ.
How much? So it's finished. So from here, either we go to Jubilee House or find some place and then ask them
Alright,
what they can do to help us.
But you've not done another tour yet.
Well, if we're able to get to the group stage, there will be more talk. If you see the trophy, run away. Now, if we're able to get to the group stage, be rest assured, we will go to Malaysia and go a lot of tours,
Guys.
and go and collect a lot of money.
And you come to multimedia too with a trophy.
Absolutely.
The show is live and interactive on social media. Let us know your thoughts on the issues we've been talking about. Basically, Lyles and his NBA comments, Mediama, Dreams FC and Ampemdakwa lady is also true. There's increase in prize money for the league winner for next season. 60% jump. So Mediama will be hoping to win that again and take all of that money. But game plan here on 99.7 Joy FM and 103.9 Hits FM is brought to you by Petrosol. And every drop matters. Yes, every penny counts as well. Did you know that good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs? Take no risk in times like this. All you need is value for your money. Look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station, your go-to station for accurate quantity of high-quality fuel. Be a happy customer. Fill with smiles, drive more miles, and save more money. Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. So you heard that from all the guys here on the show. If you want to buy fuel, just go to Petrosol. Don't just stop anywhere because you're running out of fuel. Go to Petrosol and you will thank us later. It's not just about what's happening today to your engine. It's not just about getting to your next destination. It's about maintaining your car for the longest time. And that's why Petrosol fuel is the best for you. Also, you know where you can get money to buy that fuel? Betway. Are you ready to get way more back with Betway in the new season? Use the golden booking code that you can find on the Betway site and place your risk-free bet from... in fact, it was from the 25th to the 27th of August. I know that's been extended as well. And it's guaranteed to give you 100% back as a free bet of up to 50 cedis if you lose. So it's not a place where you just throw money away. You go and bet, you don't win, they give you your money back. 100%, all of it, up to 50 cedis. And remember, Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18 terms and conditions apply. Betway, bet your way. Still to come, it's transfer deadline day. And I will ask Muftawu Nabila why Ket Okreku has dragged Palmer to court. Why Ket Okreku, GFA president, has dragged Palmer to court over allegations of hire to kill. It's a serious matter. Hey! I'm telling you. Muftawu has all the juice, okay?
He doesn't want to tell us.
No, he'll be forced to. Because the matter is not, it's a public issue now.
No,
the matter was in court, please. They did the same way.
It's with the police.
Yes, please. The same way.
The police.
So thank you. It's with the police. The police have been corrected.
Okay.
Thank you.
Budapest is always like this. When they come back from
Patrick, this is what they call ambush.
No. It's not ambush. The matter is with the police.
No, you have ambushed me. This thing you asked me to publish. Please. I don't publish. You can't ambush me for here.
Yes. All right. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Plus, it's deadline day. A lot of transfers to talk about. And the Koranteng has promised to dance Agbaja. I'm not sure why, but we'll be right back. Game plan on 99.7 Joy FM and 103.9 Hits FM. Your messages are welcome on social media. The show is live on the YouTube page of Joy FM. So just search for Joy 99.7 FM on YouTube. The show is streaming live there. It's also streaming live on Twitter Spaces. We have about 400 people listening the last time of checking. So those are all avenues you can join the show on. Your messages are welcome using the hashtag GamePlan on Twitter. We're retweeting them, sharing them with the rest of our listeners from across the globe. Also on WhatsApp, if you prefer that medium, it's 055 1111997. That's the WhatsApp number, 055 1111997. You've got thoughts on all of the things we've been talking about here, they are welcome. The show is proudly sponsored by Petrosol and also Betway. I've got a few messages here before we switch to all the other issues that are still pending. As for Man United, I really think that team is going backwards. How can you now be signing Spurs outcast on loan until January? Somebody make it make sense to me. And signing a Fiorentina player on loan for 10 million euros? Like, seriously? Godwin in North Kaneshi. He sent us that message. This one says, good afternoon, seniors. Please tell your man there to give me his Momo number for giving us the meaning of Lexus. Sicho. Hey, wait. Hold on. It's one. I go mention quiet. You see, you people, your microphones are off. Only Sicho's microphone is on. Sicho.
The number.
What is the meaning of Lexus again?
Oh, you got Thanksgiving.
Luxury exports to the USA.
Charlie, somebody should check. Luxury. Because this guy can catch us and put us in that bottle.
It's true.
I'm not saying it's
Lexus and your Land Cruiser V6 and VATC. Yeah. The same people, the same Japan motor, everything.
I know.
So he should give the Momo number.
Brandon.
No, he can't.
We go Thanksgiving.
We go test to make no shake.
You don't want the baby girls to know your number.
Got that right loud. The place he catch some way.
Luxury export to USA.
Yes. No, it's here. I just have it here.
There?
Yes.
Read it, Muftawu Nabila.
It is luxury exports to the US.
Luxury export to the US.
Yes.
You've just said what he said. Read the thing. Read the whole thing.
No, he's reading it.
No, so read the whole thing because Sitso is lying.
Okay. Okay. So what does the word Lexus mean? Yeah. Right.
That's what you Googled.
Yes.
Okay.
So the theories of etymology of the Lexus name have suggested it is the combination of words luxury and elegance, and that it is an acronym for luxury export to the US.
Okay. What's the website domain?
You too. Why delegate look at me like that?
He's looking for contrary information. All right, let me read.
Me,
So
the
that's
one I've seen, it says Lexus means defender of humankind. That's the one. That's the
Hey,
one.
delegate.
That's the one.
I'm not swimming into heaven.
It's not even close.
Listen, that one is Lexus Bill.
All right. So that message was from Papa Answer from Latte Ekwapem. He wanted Sitso's number because he gave him the meaning of Lexus. All right. Sweet good afternoon. Our name is Bedroom Pep Guardiola from La Paz. We are really enjoying the sports at work. We want to buy you people lunch. Always start with foreign news due to watch West Ham. Due to watch West Ham. Due to Chelsea, Kudus will flop this season. Hey, how can you? Due to what West Ham did to Chelsea.
What did West Ham just not go bid for the guy?
I'm even shocked.
No, but is it that West Ham beating Chelsea 3-1 or what?
Hey, he has another complaint too. He says, this week I won 15K and they deducted me 1,500 Ghana cedi tax.
Quick.
What crowd are they using the money for? What on earth will you take 10% tax for? Can you talk about it so that they reduce it? But it's not the same people that say that journalists we talk too much. Yeah, let me take it. This one says, it says, look, if Ronaldo were in America, my man, the world of soccer would have turned upside down.
Oh, that one is factual.
BB in DC with that message. This one's
your man, they do Black Panther celebration. They do Spider-Man. You know the part.
I do Spider-Man.
Let me read my messages in peace.
It's okay. It's okay.
Make a hammer.
Fentuo one read.
Spider-Man. Wait, do a kind of still.
Sitso, and Daniel, please behave yourself.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Let me read.
When the lunch comes, you will not get.
Let me read my messages in peace. I've got a message here. It says, "Hello, friend. Enjoying your show. Please assure Patrick Akoto that when the Black Stars meet Mali in the upcoming World Cup qualifiers, our players will not run away from the ball. In the previous game against Mali, when a cross or pass is coming to the player, he's running away from the ball, hiding from the ball, and leaving the ball behind. Like what?
I beg you. Give me way.
You know where
Like
this is coming from, remember?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, like Telemundo.
The final match. The final match in Qatar.
He said we sit in a room and he said things are getting tough, so let's call Extremadura man. He said so. Let's call Extremadura man.
Seek
He said, Boga, when the boy is coming, anyway, this one says, Patrick, congratulations for your victory. Keep it up. Listening to you on Game Plan on Joy. Up, Mediama. Go forward to make Ghana proud. From Reverend Albert Setokran, former president of Ghana Baseball and Softball Association. GAPSA. You know, the NSA, they have over 40 sporting federations.
They're now like 53 or so.
Ben in Luton, he says, Patrick Akoto, Akwaba, my guy.
Today, Kudus is coming to town.
Congrats to Media, man. No one gave them a chance to qualify, and I'm hoping they will make it to the group stages. Please let Akoto touch on the Guinness Book of Records on their transfer of 9 players to one single team. Patrick,
I believe that transfer.
You know.
Yeah, man.
Yes. You
what
see,
happened?
I have been shell shocked and I have been petrified by.
Wait.
Outburst.
No, please.
No.
Petrified, is it the past participle of
No,
Petrosol?
take it like that. Take it like that.
Is it Petrosol?
Because look, the drama around this Guinness Book of Record. No, look, I don't get it. Look, we have made history. We are a very happy club. Now, these 9 players, let me just put it on record, has signed this contract a year ago.
Okay.
1 year ago. So there was a clear path, there was a clear plan to see to the exit. So everyone at the club, including supporters, board, everybody knew in Takwa that these players were not part of our plans.
Okay.
Now, Kwesi Dosu, who has been at the center of a lot of talk, has been at Medema for the past 10 years, a decade. If you are his brother or his uncle, and he got an opportunity to go to
his girlfriend.
Or his girlfriend.
Yes.
Or maybe you are the second girlfriend, third girlfriend, fourth girlfriend, baby girl. Then you say that you should stay here. When he feels there's an opportunity to go out to Malta, more at least in Europe, better, and to be fair, better opportunities are there. We all know that.
Sure.
And so he has to go. Now, all these players, some of them were used sparingly along the line. They were not regular members of the team. But ask yourself, though, how many of these players who have left will perhaps be able to break in this current team? That player is going to be difficult because they were not part of the regular team members. So this plan has been there already. I think, respectfully, that because it had never happened before, people kept on asking me, are they going to different clubs? No, we have Malta branch, Mediama branch in Malta. So we have the Mediama
next.
Mediama next. And for these 9 players, and Gary, you saw the.
You see, when they say Mediama is an international club, people don't understand.
They don't get it. Yeah. Now, what people don't know is that, look, if I tell you the number of players who are dotted and scattered, youth players are across Europe, you have no idea. Give us the next 5, 6, 7 years, at least a couple of them will blossom up. And then I can get my house at Trazaco.
That's where your mind is.
Amen to that.
In fact, when I saw the statement, I was like, no, Patrick Akuto wrote this statement.
Because look, 9 players, and I'm like, players are happy.
Yeah.
The club is happy. The family, these players and their families are happy. Then you on social media, you're angry.
No, but you should understand why. You should understand why fans were behaving.
No. I respect the fans. They are the reason why we do what we do.
Because
you know,
on a more serious note,
and see, I think that
players,
yes, I think also that perhaps I should have gone a little further to do a lot more explanations. I decided not to do any media interview on this matter, and so we got the point. Everyone was calling. Listen, there's a lot of misconception. Many even think that these are your regular players who are not our regular players. They have signed this deal 1 year ago. Okay. So hopefully 9 is going. We are even hopeful that we will get more international contact. So the next time 10 will go to America. The next one 15 will go to Canada. The next one
be serious.
8. Oh, I'm saying 8 to
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. And when you get to Saudi Arabia, my brother, then you know in life you have arrived. The moment you Saudi Arabia, you have arrived.
Godwin Ladis says what the Nigerian coach said is true. He said 2 weeks to the start of the league, nothing has been done to career-threatening pitches at El Wag, Dawu, Brekum, and the likes. We should just stop playing our league till we fix common pitches. Reading these messages from Twitter. This one says, Daniel, we want to see you at Abuja. We're getting there. That's a message from Bongo Jr. Misbah Ali, he says, this is cash coins from Sawaba Zongo. That's his name, cash coins from Sawaba Zongo. How can you deduct 10% from our bet and don't issue us receipt? We are in the problem. Anyway, and there's a lot happening on deadline day. Sicho, what's with the expression?
Spurs have made a 40 million verbal bid for Conor Gallagher, which is looking increasingly likely.
That has been looking like it's going to happen.
Matson is also going to be joining Burnley on a loan with an obligation to buy.
In fact, the reports are that 10 players will leave Chelsea 11 today. Thank you.
Okay, it was 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And then when Milan decides to release 9 players, it's a problem.
It's a £31 million.
A loan now, an obligation to buy.
So the whole thing will be
yes.
Yeah. Martin, who was one of Chelsea's better players in pre-season.
Pre-season.
That's
barely
crazy.
had a look in at the start of the season. But that's the market.
That's crazy. We're going to talk transfers now. There's a lot to talk about there. But quickly, Muftawu, there's a big story trending, and the story is that Keto Kriku has reported Palmer to the police for threatening or for hiring an assassin to kill him. It just sounds so serious, I'm laughing because what are the chances that this could actually happen? But that's not my place to say. Just give us my opinion is not important. What are the facts of this matter? Because it's with the police.
It is with the police. Palmer was supposed to go to the CID again on Wednesday. He made his first appearance before them on Monday. But this is what actually started. About 2 weeks ago, a gentleman reached out to the GFA president.
This is according to the facts presented to the police.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Reached out to the GFA president and said that he has intercepted messages of conversations between Wilfred Osekweko Palmer and some 5 guys Palmer has hired to kill the GFA president for 200,000 Ghana cedis. So they'll kill the GFA president and he will give them the 200,000 Ghana cedis. So the GFA president decided to forward the messages to the IGP, the Inspector General of Police, who also forwarded the messages to the Accra Regional Police Commander and asked him to take charge of the matter. So an invitation was extended to Fred Osekweko Palmer last week, if my memory serves me right, and he was asked to appear before the police CID on Friday, but unfortunately he couldn't make that appearance. So he went to the police CID on Monday. It was when he got to the police that they tabled before him what the report the FA president has sent to them about Palmer engaging some 5 people to kill the GFA president. So the conversations that actually transpired, based on what I gathered, was that one of the things they asked Palmer was whether he suspects it was the GFA president who got him disqualified from contesting the GFA elections of 2019. And I was made to understand that the response he gave to them was that he suspects all the people who were on the list contesting for the GFA president of 2019. So it is not just the GFA president. So if the GFA president was part of the people who contested for the GFA presidency in 2019, then he suspects him as one of the people who got him disqualified from the elections in 2019. They also asked him, are you a friend of the GFA president? He said, no, he's not a friend of the GFA president and can never be a friend of the GFA president because the GFA president has decided to attack his investment, which is Tema Youth. And he had the example of how Tema Youth was about qualifying to the Premier League, and the GFA decided to change the regulations, and his team could not qualify to the Premier League. And even as we speak, the GFA president, he alleges, has gone through some machinations to have his Tema Youth demoted to Division 2. So he's not a friend. He was
telling the police all this?
Yeah, he told them everything like that. He told them that, so he's not the GFA president. So, and he went to the police CID with the former GFA president.
Kwesi Nyantakyi was his lawyer.
Yeah. He went there with Kwesi Nyantakyi.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah. It is.
So one of the things I was actually made to understand was the fact that the former GFA president, Kwesi Nyantakyi, asked a couple of questions. One of them was the fact that the person who reached out to Kurt, claiming that he has intercepted information that they are going to kill him.
His life was under threat.
Yes, his life was under threat. He asked him, did the person make demands for money? The answer was in the positive, yes. The person indeed asked the GFA president to pay him money.
So that what?
So that
for bringing the information?
For bringing the information. So the follow-up question was this. If the person asks for the money, how did the person say he should make the payment? And he said, the person said, I should pay the money through mobile money. Right? So the former GFA president was like, if indeed someone is engaging in acts like this, he's not too sure the person will want you to pay the money through a channel that can easily be tracked by the police. So some of these things, what usually happens is that they will ask you to bring the money. But also, the plan of Keto Creek, based on what I was told, was that he wanted the person to continue to engage the so-called assailants so that they could swoop on them with the police. Right. And the person was reluctant to do that.
I see.
So even when they offered to pay the money to the guy in cash, in fact, he wanted the money to be paid via mobile money. The GFA president did not make that payment. That's what I was told. Ket did not make that payment. But he still forwarded the details to the police and all that. So, and in fact, I also remember someone telling me that even if I recall George Free was saying that Kwesi Nyantakyi himself has been through this like 5 times, where people would come and tell him that these people are planning to kill you, so give us money for it and all that. So in the end,
so it could be an issue of, it could be a case of extortion.
It could be a case,
or it could also be real.
It could also be real.
Yeah, bottom line is, Mr. Katakirk can't take any chances.
That's the point.
That's
so for now, where are we with the matter?
At this point, the police asked Palmer to come back on Wednesday and to assist them with investigations. They also told him that as and when they gather any details, they will phone him to have detailed conversation on this.
It's wild.
Telenovela, Telemundo.
It's a wild story.
Where wanna Gollywood people they be scraping?
It's a wild story.
Action movie script.
It's a wild story, bro. It's a wild story.
They are now all doing skits.
All right.
They've stopped the movies and now it's all about skits and.
It's a wild movie storyline.
It'd be something. It'd be something crazy. You know, especially given the characters involved.
Absolutely.
You know, because this is just
rivalry,
this
power
is
play.
preposterous. This is crazy. But let's talk transfers. Deadline day, a lot is happening. We have a transfer deadline day show tonight. Joy deadline day is at 8 p.m. on Joy News, so do join us.
Enjoy Prime.
Enjoy Prime as well, so do join us for that. We'll be looking at all the transfers of this window, the Ghanaian players that have made moves, which deals that they're still scrambling to make.
So Partey is still at Arsenal.
Of course.
He has not heard what's happening in Saudi Arabia.
But even Mohamed Salah, they are bringing 150 million.
Gary, see. When you get to a certain stage in your life,
make money.
Forget about what people say and stay in Europe. Stay in Europe and do what? Stay in Europe.
I'm going to calm now.
You know, sometimes I get palpitated when I hear this talk. You're not the father, you're not the mother, you're not the sister. You say you stay in Europe. When Saudi Arabia is calling, a place that can practically change your whole physiological makeup and change your life. You are saying that you are staying in England to do what?
Patrick, if all our players play in Saudi Arabia,
sorry.
Wait.
Hold on.
I mean, go on. You see?
So if all our players play in Saudi
It's
Arabia,
okay.
Yes. But the Saudi Arabian team that beats Argentina at the World Cup. Who was playing Saudi Arabia?
Samuel Jan.
UAE.
You see the way his mind has been programmed.
He was people say so many things about Samuel Jan. Farmers League, yet when he came to the national team, he delivered.
Senegal's captain is playing there. The deputy captain is playing there. Portugal's captain, the greatest player on earth, is playing there.
He's finished. So, but let's go
the
on.
competition that these Arabians want to give to the rest of Europe, they have no idea. And you see, what they are doing now, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
With time, even younger players will all love to go to Saudi Arabia.
But they're already going.
They have the money.
In fact, with time, it will be on free to air in Ghana and we'll watch.
Right.
Oh yes.
Daniel, you've barely spoken today. Let's go on now.
Because I'm here.
Amrabat.
I told him.
Amrabat to Man United is happening. But
That's happening.
Good. But people have issues with the nature of the deal. Why a loan deal? 10 million euros for a loan deal for a player that you absolutely need. What is preventing United from signing him on a permanent?
If he comes on loan, will he be able to play the football?
Yes.
So what is your problem? You needed a player. The team is in need of that type of player. If you remember, Sitsofe, I said that profile of player is what Man United should have signed first.
Charlie, it excites me.
And there's been how many? 3 games, Charlie? And Ten Hag has now seen that any year without a player like him. So Chinchina, he has to make the deal happen.
So he will play.
My point. Loan deal, whatever deal. Sunday, the guy is a Man United player. He can play. Next week, he can play. The only time he will not be able to play is if Man U faces Fiorentina and this thing. And we are not on the same level. So that one is sorted. So I don't understand the problem. And the thing comes to it's a obligation to buy at the end of next summer. So if you add it's 30 million euros for Amrabat.
It's actually good business.
It's a very good deal.
Because United
we
this
nearly
season,
inserted that clause when we sold, we farmed out Blade to Kotoko.
Yeah.
Yes, we discussed it at the top level. We nearly, in fact, it was in, and we took it out. That Blake cannot play against Mediaman when he's at Kotoko, when we play. When it is certain, but later we took it out.
No, but friends, the reason why I think United have gone for the loan deal, it's important. United are on a very thin line with financial fair play.
Okay.
According to them, when COVID broke, they were given a certain leeway to box the COVID losses as part of, But United said, per some miscalculation, they've exceeded. So they've been fined by UEFA actually, 300,000.
So in other words, United just are not showing on the pick. Their accountants too are showing.
Yes, and unfortunately for Man United, they've not been able to.
It's funny.
Did you see Daniel's eyeball?
It's funny. Yesterday when we were doing the draw, it's your name part.
And unfortunately for Man United, they've not been able to sell.
Your accountants.
You have money.
United over the last couple of years have made some signings.
Yeah.
Mount is not cheap. Casemiro wasn't cheap. Anthony wasn't cheap. Maguire wasn't cheap.
True story.
Onana isn't cheap. They've made some very good signings. Unfortunately, they've not been able to ship out some players that are not of need. Nobody wants to buy Martial. Nobody's buying Van der Beek. Maguire is still locked to the club. Scott McTominay sits on the bench of the club. The only player that has been successful in terms of shipping out is, if you like, Fred. Yeah. For how much though? So United need to be.
They need to balance the books.
Yes, they need to balance the book. That's why they are going for the loan deal, hoping that by next season,
next summer,
they've got a lot of money to actually pay, Fiorentina. So it's an intelligent move by the club.
Okay, let's stick with transfers. Cole Palmer to Chelsea. That's a deal that surprised many, mostly because, my personal opinion, I thought it was money that was good enough to sign someone like Kudus, for example. Obviously, because it cost about the same amount of money. And he also looks like a deal that is not of priority to Chelsea, in my opinion, because given that Nkunku is injured and Jackson will be leaving for the AFCON, Chelsea desperately need to reinforce a striker, preferably. I don't have issues with the boy's talent, but I still think that perhaps maybe being proving quality is not exactly the same phrase that can be used for him. What do you think Sitsofe is thinking here in signing that boy?
It's practically impossible for me to pinpoint 1, 2, 3 reasons why I think Palmer was signed by Chelsea, especially at that price. It's not cheap.
No,
40 million plus 2.5 add-ons. That's a lot of money for a player who's not played the Premier League or doesn't have enough experience in the Premier League. It's a lot of money for City. And for City, they'll be like, hold on, somebody wants to pay that amount of Palmer, you've got to go. Because he won't play at City.
Yeah.
Even if they wanted to integrate him, he's not going to play. And I heard Don Hutchinson say 2 days ago that what he's gathered is that away from the training pitch, his attitude is not great. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Pep Guardiola won't compromise is that he absolutely wants to have control over players off the pitch, live and on the pitch. He's a control freak when he talks to players around him. Yeah. But for Chelsea as well, I think one thing Cole Palmer offers them is that he's versatile. He can play on the left, on the right. He's not a bad player. He can play on the left, on the right wing. He could be your number 10, even though I don't trust him in there. And at times, he can even be your false 9 as well. So he's still young, and he probably fits what Chelsea have been doing the last 18 months or so. Buying players who are young, knowing or hoping that they can become worldies in the next 2-3 years. And it's
the strangest thing for me is, don't they have that already? Hold on. And those the players, they're exactly the players they have that they're shipping away.
That is why I'm saying it's confusing. They keep doing the same things and keep signing. Like Angelo, for instance, had a decent preseason. And you're thinking, okay, if you're going to bring in Palmer to play in the position where Sterling is playing, why don't you keep that boy then? But Palmer comes, like I said, he's versatile. He can play number 10, both wings, and maybe a false 9. But it's as I've said, I don't believe in the Chelsea project.
Daniel, you have a comment on that?
Yeah, I do.
Gary.
It fits into a larger something that I don't understand with Man City, Chelsea, and generally the top 4, 5, 6 English clubs and what they are doing. Together, collectively, they have some of the best academies in the world, producing top-level elite talent. Yeah. And yet, they are all shipping them out and selling them and buying what looks like the same profile of player. It's weird. On one hand, it's great because it's good for the books, obviously.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
If you rear your own chickens or pigs or whatever, you sell them for whatever value and you can recoup the money. But on the other side of things, where comes because you see, when you are Mediama and you have an academy of players that know the Mediama way.
Yes, of course.
It's like Barca.
It's easier.
It's easier. And it's, when they grow into Mediama DNA.
The Mediama culture, the Mediama DNA. That is the only club.
So why does Chelsea, and for those of you understand.
And their commitment level is always different.
And Chelsea, look, their academy is prolific. I'm sure we know that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best in Europe.
One of the best in Europe and the world. Absolutely. So that is what I don't understand. Man City too, the same. Man City is gotten so bad. Yesterday, somebody who is listening told me Man City have started signing under 15 months old children. Listen, children who are not 15 months yet.
Of course.
15 months old. They are signing them into
15
Manchester.
months.
see, those
On
15
TV
months.
19 po.
15 months.
Having
Boga, it's called scouting. When you no, it's true. Oh, I've done some before. I've done some
Oh,
before.
yeah, down there, I
When
agree.
you see the leg,
You know.
you use protractor. There's an angle that you can see that Charlie outside of foot
Daniel, no. On a more serious note, Daniel is not making it up.
The kid will
No,
be a
but
boy.
serious.
Okay, Daniel. You know how Pochettino was scouted?
Yes,
No.
he was sleeping and they looked at his legs.
The former Leeds manager, what's his name?
Bielsa.
Marcelo Bielsa was told about a kid that was a good footballer.
Oh, yeah.
He drove to the kid's parents' house to have a look at the kid. When he went, the kid was sleeping.
You saw the leg.
The kid was Mauricio Pochettino. He asked the parents, "Where is he?" They said he's sleeping. They're going to wake him up. He said, "No, don't wake him up.
just
Let
removed
me
the
see him."
blanket.
He goes, he lifts the blanket, he looks at his leg and says he's a good player. Tomorrow bring him.
Tell me as I say, me say, listen to say,
The answer is the crazy one.
when Jarapiki was young,
People with such
they
eyes
said-
here,
Said
like
his
such.
legs are not good.
This
they
is
said
a true
Piqué
story.
couldn't play football. Mo fe fi on komboa.
This is a true story.
Boga.
Daniel, Matthias Nunes to Man City. I think obviously we can all agree that that's the Paqueta deal that should have happened. Obviously didn't happen. They brought in Nunes. Obviously we don't know exactly what he's bringing to City, but we know his quality. Hard worker.
That's the thing. He's not just a hard worker. Mateus Nunes, when he was in Portugal, he's a creator. He's a scorer, and of course, off the ball too, he's a huge asset. It didn't really go well for him at Wolves, but this is just a lesson. I'm using this transfer as a lesson to what is happening in that terrain. Everybody scouts everybody.
Yes.
The top players are scouted by everybody. The top teams just need to know that you can cope in a certain environment, and when the time is right, they will come for you. You hardly see them taking the risk of going to get those talents from outside and bring them straight into their team. They will prefer that a smaller Premier League team will go for you. You spend 1 or 2 seasons, they monitor you and they bring you. Mateus Nunes last season didn't do anything that was worth £47 million. But Man City and every top team knows his quality. In fact, he had a couple of national team collapse even whilst he was at Wolves.
True.
And it wasn't based on what he was doing at Wolves. It was based on what they know he can do. So put in the right environment at City, Pep knows that this boy will succeed. And that is the kudos thing I'm talking about. Just 1 season at West Ham. We'll be sitting here next year by this time. And we'll see the top teams. This one will not be
I
Chelsea
agree.
who are going for Palmer. It will be Manchester City, the Real Madrids, and the bigger boys.
And
They are the ones who
and
be
it's
coming
true
for.
because João Paulinho
Yeah.
plays Fulham for 1 season and it's almost done with a deal with Bayern Munich.
And when he was coming to Fulham,
Yeah.
we were wondering, how on earth
Is he going to
is he
Fulham?
going to Fulham?
Why not? Why not mind
Even
it when the Chelsea? why not?
same for Paqueta, to be
Yeah,
honest.
look at Paqueta from Lyon.
If it
to
wasn't
West Ham.
for this whole,
the betting thing.
it would have been at Man
Man
City.
City.
But that guy is a dangerous guy, Paqueta.
You know, and to be fair, I think it is one thing that we can all agree that the path to success is not linear. It's not very straight. Sometimes it's important to take a step back. Obviously, on paper, if you're moving from Ajax Amsterdam, a team that constantly competes in the Champions League, to West Ham,
No,
many
constantly
would
plays. They don't compete.
constantly plays in the Champions League. On paper, many people would think it's a downgrade. But like Daniel rightly said, Sitcho has said it many times, West Ham, the Premier League offers you a certain platform and pedigree and certain value that it brings to you that Ajax might not give you. And, you know, we wish more the best. He plays tonight.
He plays tonight, and
What time?
7 p.m. So kudos to score. Betway sharp. Kudos
Sharp.
to score. Kudos to score.
Over 2.5. On his debut.
Kudos to score.
He's on the match day poster.
Kudos to score. Buggers.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the middle.
They use 3 players and he's in the middle. Starboy. I've told you before. Kudus can easily be one of the most marketable African athletes in his time. He's nice looking. He speaks well.
Fresh boy.
He's talented.
He's a
He's
star
got-
boy.
He's got a proper frame that brands would like to associate with. If he takes care of himself, the guy be killer.
Last one, Ibrahim Sadek to Ezi Akma.
Your boy.
Yes.
Oh, very good deal.
Yeah.
We saw him at under 17. One of the guys we expected to hit it straight off. It didn't work out for him. He's gone through the
Injuries didn't help the boy.
the hard times.
Yeah.
And now he's got a very good deal. I think the Eredivisie is perfect for him. If you go from Sweden to the Netherlands,
It's a good second
it's a good second step. And It's a sort of platform that, and the type of football that they play, brand of football they play in Holland is quite similar to Sweden. I don't expect him
It's
to.
basically
have
like
it.
Norgeland to Ajax.
Exactly.
that kind of thing.
And if he succeeds, we'll see him in.
But I think that Kudus will do well. You know, I have a very interesting understanding of, and I don't really get people.
Fire
So
away.
he's at Ajax
Uh-huh.
playing Champions League.
For what? You win that.
And so
You will never win it. You won't win it.
there are some
So if you
things
play
I-
Champions League with Rangers, what
guys,
have you done?
No, friend.
That's
no,
our- no,
one
that's
second.
our show.
There are some things I don't get. So you go to West Ham. and then, Are you a father? Are you a family member? The man is comfortable. He's okay. Look at how happy he is. Then you are saying you don't understand.
Patrick,
close.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick
Yeah, good
Akoto.
position. I'm happy.
Yes, Gary L.
8
Smith.
o'clock on TV.
Yes, Joy Deadline Day
And tomorrow,
tonight.
Ronaldo, Al Nassr are playing. So,
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. Thank you very much, guys. That's our show for today. Live on 99.7 Joy FM, 103.9 Hits FM. This has been Game Plan. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. The show is sponsored by Petrosol as well as Betway. Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. And Betway, bet your way. We're back tonight on your TV. Joy News and Joy Prime with Joy Deadline Day at 8 p.m. Until then, it's bye for now.